Greetings to my learners. Welcome to the e-content presented by the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. I'm Piyush Pradhan, the Language Lab Assistant. Report writing. Report writing. What kind of skill is that? Report writing is extremely essential, especially at the business places where you need to make sure that whatever is the part of your work, quarterly or yearly, especially in these two categories, your superior must have the gist of what work you have done throughout that time, and it needs to be properly archived. That is why we require a report. Now, in technical terms, the definition of a report is literally pretty vague. Any account which is spoken or written of the matters concerning a particular topic can be taken as per report writing, but we have to see that it should mainly be the written format. The written format is usually referred to the actual usage for the official documenting part, which outlines the facts and figures of the topic you have chosen. It is mainly typically written by an expert on the subject or someone assigned to investigate it. Report writing skill mainly should not be taken care by any layman, because on broader perspectives, there can be so many imperative features or elements or characteristics of that particular work which could miss out a lot. That is why we require an expert or someone who can investigate through the original source available. Now we are pushing to the end of the slide. Why a report? That is extremely beautiful question. There isn't any other ready-made written feature, unfortunately, except only maintaining your text in a form of report writing. In it, you'll find a matter is firstly researched or investigated, and it is done in a predetermined time period so as to draw out meaningful sense. Each report needs to draw out meaningful sense to your audience you are targeting. Now, our report is a systematic and structured presentation of written text all the time, which is mainly directed to always interest the readers. If your part of the content is not satisfactory, it will always generate disinterest to the stranger or the reader who's going to read your text. It involves specific purpose, aim, or it could be in a form of a request of some sort. Going further, we're looking at what kind of information is shared in reports. We are looking at the detailing of an event or the situation. We are looking at the evaluation of statistical data or analytics involved. Then there is, of course, interpretation from the information that is involved in the report. Then there can be the consequences or the ongoing effect of an event. There can be predictions or recommendations at the same time based on the information in the report. How the information relates to other events or reports can actually be taken up as per its criteria. Now, we need to learn to note that reports typically stick only to the facts, although they may include some of the author's interpretation of these facts, most likely in the conclusion part. This part of the slide is talking about the types of reports. We're looking at the quick list of the common types of reports that we have. Now, usually we have numerous kind of reports available, but I have taken these handful of some reports, such as the academic report that tests a student's comprehension of the subject matter if we are targeting any college or institution. It can be in the form of the book reports, reports on historical events, or biographies in general. Then we are learning business reports. Its duty is to identify the information useful in business strategies, such as the marketing reports, internal memos prepared within the institution. Then, of course, at the time of the SWOT analysis, that is the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and the other kind of things which we can include in that feature, and of course the feasibility report. Then the third type is the scientific reports. It shares research findings such as research papers and including the case studies, typically in the science journals, I would say. In this slide, we are looking at the categories of subdivision, which is used for report writing. It includes formal or informal, short or long, internal or external. When we look from the business point of view, a vertical report is prepared and the information is shared with people on different levels of the working hierarchy. That is to say, the people who work above you and below you. Now, we're going to deal with the structure of a report, which is extremely essential. The structure of the report depends on the type of report and indeed its requirements as far as the assignment is concerned. While reports can use their own unique structure, most follow this basic template. Now, what is this basic template for writing this structure of the report? First, indeed, including introduction, that is to set up the body of the report, and your introduction, mainly if it is very strong or powerful, actually controls the overall topic that you're about to discuss with your audience. Then secondly, we are going to talk about the executive summary. An executive summary is a standalone section, and its duty is to summarize the findings in your report so as the readers know what to expect out of your work. These are mostly for official reports and less so for the school reports and so on. Then comes the body. The body of the report explains all your major discoveries, broken up into, of course, headings and subheadings. That's how we take it. Hope my learners have understood this part of the slide, consisting of the structuring of the report. And of course, how can we forget its very strong conclusion? The conclusion is where you bring together all the information in your report. And it comes to a definitive interpretation or the judgment of that person. This is usually where the author inputs his own personal opinions or inferences. Now we are going to look at some of the preliminaries which are included for understanding a typical report structure. Now, I have separated this slide into left and right kind of explanation, where both of these alignments are different. First of all, we are going to look at this left-hand portion of the slide. In normal context, we are going to take up these things as title pages, abstracts, list of contents, appendixes, including list of tables and figures, page numbering, heading and subheadings. Lastly, we have got acknowledgements and, of course, citations. This can be for the regular use of the reports, which is mainly useful for literally every institutions in the market. But when we push along to the right-hand side of the slide, we're looking at a more advanced form of the main body of the report. That begins with introduction or very powerful background. It involves literature review, which is in the form of a short summary or passage. Then, of course, the specifications of any particular topic that you have chosen about. Let's say you need to write a technical report on the working of washing machine. So how would you describe a washing machine through a diagram and its full explanation. So these are the features how it should be taken up. Then, of course, the designing and the modeling of that object, including all the mechanical and other technical aspects of it. Then, what was the objective of your research when you've taken up this topic of this washing machine technicality? Then, of course, the kind of methodology that you must have used in order to collect the information for this technical report and then try to conglomerate the entire stuff so that one single massive meaning or sense can be taken up. Then, of course, there can be some findings analysis that can be in the form of some special kind of analysis. Then lastly, the conclusions and recommendations. And lastly comes the bibliography, followed by appendices. So my audiences must be wondering that these left and right-hand sections of this slide might consist of literally same kind of points, but this is not the case. Simple sample reports might be very short in size with 2 to 4 pages, but technical reports can be as lengthy as 20 to sometimes 25 pages lengthy. This is the reason why it took time for me to explain you this separate explanation of the structuring of the report. Now we are pushing along to another slide. Understanding of a statement which should be used by a layman especially. I mean, if you are a common man, so you should know the difference between problem statement and statement that is purposeful for you. Let's read out the problem statement first. Our company's market share is steadily declining. Please look at these 2 words I have italicized. We're going to work on these 2 words only. Now the purpose statement. To promote and sell our products, it is to recommend and to approach as it is likely to stabilize our market share. Now, connect these 2 features, steadily declining and stabilization of market share. Did you see the transformation in these 2 words? How I showed you the transformation? That's how it needs to be done. Same as in the case of the second problem statement. Our current computer networks lack sufficient bandwidth and can't be upgraded. Again, these 2 italicized features. Now, when converted into purposeful statement, we have the word analyze, we have got the words options, and then further, company's current and future needs. So, upgraded can be transformed in a form of company's current and future needs. And lastly, one more beautiful third problem statement with this purpose statement. We need $2 million to launch a new product. The purpose statement is to convince investors and to have new business, sound investment is required. In order to obtain the desired financing, so that amount in that purpose statement you can see right now can actually be changed to sound investment and desired financing. Hope you have now understood the main statement, how it is to be taken in report writing. Now I've got some sample examples from my audiences. This report is for the press about traffic congestion, in which you and many others were stranded for several hours. Traffic congestion, that is of course a daily obstruction for each one of us as regular commuters. Just simply look at this slide and read out for yourself all these different features I've included in this total passage. What I need my audience to see is the use of the connecting words and the grammatical accuracies of the statements. Don't forget, this report was for the press, so it should look like a press release kind of report. The same report for the press is continued in this slide also. Please have a look. I hope you have understood this. Now, another beautiful picture. This picture is about newspaper report. Look at this picture of this doggy in this newspaper and read out its main headline. It says, "How much is that doggy in that window?" Now, one thing you have to remember, do not confuse your audience. This particular headline itself is very confusing. Are we dealing with some kind of a lost dog in this newspaper report? I'm afraid not. When I use the word doggy in the window, it means I must be talking about the special talent or skill of this doggy that has made him so much famous in households all around the town. This is what this report is talking about. So name of the newspaper, headline, reporter's name, a very strong opening, a short article which should also be powerful, the subheadings, of course the picture involved. You can even have the facility to include caption with the picture. Then there can be some extra advertisement. It should not be a different advertisement. That advertisement should involve with this particular picture of the doggy itself and some extra information. Hope you liked this newspaper report. Now, this police report, including case number, date, what is the name of the reporting officer, when it was prepared and by whom, and of course, the incident that taken place. Down below, we have detailing of the event, of course, the actions taken, and then the final brief summary about this police report. There is another picture of this cute doggy. Once again, I have come up for you all to take delight in. This time, we have a direct understanding through this slide that we are talking about a lost doggy. A doggy who is in fact a female. She's of the spayed breed. She's 5 years old and she's 19 pounds in weight. She's white and the owner has tagged this doggy with pink and white collar, microchipped, so that one who's going to search out for this doggy somewhere on the street can catch it, including this master, involving the reward with his telephone number, whosoever is going to bring that doggy back to him. This is also one of the beautiful ways to understand how a report can be written in 1 or 2 pages. Now in this part of the slide, we are looking at the useful languages. Just have a look. The purpose, the report aiming to something or needed to be taken for examination, something that is recommended for the best options you have in hand, something that is stated, etc., and so on. Hope you have learned the useful language expressions in this slide. Now this slide is enhanced expressions to be incorporated more into report. Again, look at the terminologies over here. Words like setback, strong points, furthermore, vicious circle, a great deal of, the sheer benefits, impact on, truth widely acknowledged, widely accepted, obstacles, etc. This actually shows that you are using an enhanced expressions or the vocabulary or the glossary that should be taken for report writing. It should not be any journal language which you should take with general use of the words. Now immediately I am giving my audiences these report writing tasks. Just have a look at this. It's about a 2-month communicative English course which you have done in London. The principal of the college which you studied at has written you an email with a request for a brief report commenting on this course. And these were the 4 bullet points which you need to incorporate in your report writing skills. Hope you have taken up this report writing task very seriously. Same as in the case with the second slide, with the second writing task. In this we have 3 bullets. Now, so far, my audiences have understood the gist with the help of these two tasks I've shared, what and how things should be included in report writing. This is quite a unique slide because this last slide is talking about holiday report, how a holiday report should be written. Of course, you need to have a picture depiction of the historical monument you have visited lately. Then you're acquiring the details of that place of holiday and trying to make a questionnaire. Then you have to plan your entire report based on questionnaire itself, and first of all make a rough draft as a short note about the criterion. Focus on these questions. Talk to yourself about it, and you'll get the answers for your report writing very easily. Thank you so much all, and I am happy to receive your comments in my upcoming videos as well. Goodbye to you, and thank you.